Democratic strategist, LA Times contributor, and former House GOP Oversight Committee advisor, Kurt Bardella. Two perfect people to talk to, and I do want to get some of your predictions, but first and foremost, I do want to start with you, Scott. I want to ask you, when we talk about getting the pulse of Americans, when we talk about polling, and I know that this is your love language, I can't imagine that any of this is sitting well with the average American.
Yeah, no, the average American already has a low opinion of Congress. Republican, Democrat, Independent, they have a low opinion of Congress. When you look inside the party, I know Matt Gaetz was showing a poll that the majority of Republicans wanted to see McCarthy out, but there's been other polls that come out that show McCarthy certainly had support, and he was able to fundraise, which was very important to support the caucus. By and large, the average American thinks this is a disaster, has thought Congress has been a disaster for a while. Inside the Republican Party, they're just concerned that they're not going to get what they want, either on the Israeli funding, Ukrainian funding, budget around the CR, all those different things. I think if you don't see a speaker by next week, you're going to see even worse things being called into Congress, or certainly on the opinion side.
You know, Kurt, I think I know what you might say. I think that as a Democratic strategist, this may maybe slightly appealing to you, especially a lot of Democrats like to see the Republicans squirm a little bit. But this is a person who we saw Trump supporters, but then we saw a lot of the rhetoric really shift. And where did all this negativity come within the party? When we talk about these death threats, and we've all heard the voicemails, it's pretty abhorrent.
Yeah, I mean, there should be no place in any of our political discussions where that type of vitriol, hate, threats is acceptable to anybody on the left or the right. And I think that some of the Republican colleagues who are subjected to that, and some of their spouses who are subjected to that, well, maybe the next time you hear someone like Donald Trump make fun of an attack against Paul Pelosi, for example, maybe that will give you pause rather than laughing at it, which a lot of Republicans have done in the past. This is very real and very, very scary. And when you are having people threaten violence against you or your loved ones because they don't like a political outcome, well, that's terrorism. That's domestic terrorism. And that's not okay. And anybody who thinks that it's okay to express yourself that way because you don't like how a member of Congress is voting for Speaker of the House, you're part of the problem that's tearing the fabric of this country apart. That is not anything that anybody, I don't care where you sit on the ideological spectrum, should be okay with.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it feels like Groundhog Day, which at first, we may snicker a little bit, and there's a plan in place, right? There's no plan in place, and the stakes are so high. Scott, and both of you have been a part of the House. You've seen the inner workings. Who is the dark horse? Who are we going to see? There's so many names getting thrown around. I mean, I saw it this afternoon, and my eyes started to cross, and I started to count, and I'm like, are we up to 7? Who is it? Who is going to take the helm?
Yeah, well, I'll take it first. Look, this is a name that's not you've heard a lot of, but I've heard that Virginia Foxx, already a committee chair, already well respected, both on the moderate side and on the conservative side. She was the one who moved to remove Liz Cheney from the chamber. She has a top tier communication staff, leadership staff. You might see someone like that who's well respected, been in Congress for a long time, emerge as a caretaker or someone to get them through the next year. I'd look for someone like a Virginia Foxx.
All right, Kurt, what do you think?
I do think that someone who is a committee chair is very appealing. They've already demonstrated the ability to win over their colleagues, be put in a leadership position. Committee chairs have just a lot more interaction with the rank and file members. I think that the most important person is going to be someone who can actually fundraise effectively, and who those battleground Republicans in those Biden districts that have to run for re-election in 2024, it's got to be someone that they would want campaigning for them in their backyard, in their district, raising money for them.